10 Craziest Military Training Exercises. When you think about training for the military, you probably imagine bald dudes jogging in perfect formation, crawling under barbed wire, and getting inventive nicknames spit into their faces by their superiors. In reality, military training techniques vary a lot from country to country. Some are insanely elaborate, some are insanely cruel, and some are fine just being plain old insane. Here is the list of top 10 craziest military training exercises. If you enjoy the video, then give it a big thumbs up, and also hit the subscribe button to watch more entertaining videos from us. Number 10, The Road to Heaven, Taiwan Marines. In Taiwan, the military has opted to put their soldiers through both mental and psychical stress. This ensures the soldier can endure the toughest battle conditions. The Road to Heaven test is the final stage of a 9-week intensive amphibious training program. It requires trainees to execute various exercises, including a leopard crawl along a 150-foot-long path that is littered with jagged corals and rocks. As the recruits slowly crawl across the sharp and jagged terrain, they experience extreme pain as they are cut to shreds. All recruits participating in this final exercise have been awake for over 4 days non-stop, making the course even more challenging. Number 9, Cobra Blood Cocktail, U.S. Marines. These days, becoming an elite soldier is a nearly difficult task, with a barrage of mental and physical tests. Gone are the days when a few push-ups and an obstacle course proved a soldier's worth. United States Marines training now includes drinking cobra blood and ripping the heads off chickens with your bare teeth. An 11-day exercise, called Cobra Gold, is held every year in Thailand. It's comprised of around 13,000 soldiers from the United States, Singapore, Indonesia, Japan, and South Korea. The course covers amphibious assault, humanitarian relief, and the evacuation of friendly forces, as well as jungle survival techniques. After being taught how to properly kill venomous cobras by naval instructors, Marines are encouraged to experience drinking the animal's blood. The cobra's blood is said to have many nutrients and can help sustain a soldier in an emergency. Number 8, Shot to the Chest, Russian Special Forces. The Russian Special Forces combat a wide array of threats, from domestic terrorists to international criminals. This means they must be prepared for any event that may unfold. Recruits are subjected to unique and dangerous training exercises to ensure they can handle the job. These exercises are part of a specialized Russian confidence training course. One of their most daring techniques includes shooting each other in the chest. The idea behind the exercise is to prepare the men if they are ever shot. Some soldiers end up wounded while others just take hits to the vest. Whatever the outcome, the men must be able to return fire quickly and accurately. Number 7, Cold Water Training, U.S. Navy SEALs. We have all heard of the infamous Navy SEALs. They are known to perform some of the most secretive and dangerous work in the world. But what many of us don't know is exactly how these brave men train for the job. Navy SEAL trainees endure extreme surf torture, also known as cold water conditioning, first being covered from head to toe in mud. The men then have their arms and legs bound as a part of drown-proofing. The recruits must bob up and down 20 times, float for 5 minutes, swim to the shallow end of the pool, and turn around without touching the bottom. They must then retrieve a face mask from the bottom of the pool. The insanity doesn't end there either. A BUDS instructor will also attack the trainees in the pool to simulate a combative drowning victim. Number 6, The Sludge Run, British Royal Marines. The Royal Marines' highly feared mud run is the most grueling part of the 32-week training course that is said to turn civilians into commandos, and after learning more, you will understand why even the top recruits dread it. The recruits are forced to spend up to 45 minutes at a time, performing extreme physical tasks in mud so thick that they can barely move. They are exhausted, demoralized, and covered from head to toe in terrible-smelling sea sludge. Their uniforms offer little protection from the putrid mud, as their superiors bark orders at them to do press-ups and crawl on their hands and knees through the shore. These Royal Marine hopefuls participate, as they dream one day of wearing the coveted green beret, marking them as the most elite of Britain's fighting forces. Number 5, Hand Grenade Hot Potato, People's Liberation Army of China. Training an army is no easy task. It involves great discipline, precision, and courage that can be called upon in times of war. However, soldiers in China take this idea to the next level. As a training exercise to harden the soldiers, a life and death game of hot potato is played with live hand grenades. The pin is pulled as the men huddle in a circle and pass the explosive off to one another. This game continues until the very last second, when the soldier holding the grenade throws it down a hole and dives for cover as it explodes. Number 4, the Belarus Red Berets Run, the Assault Course from Hell. To become a Red Beret in the Eastern European nation of Belarus, you have to complete an obstacle course that looks like what would happen if the ghost of General Patton directed an American Gladiators reboot, with a budget of $200 and a demagnetized moral compass. Oh sure, there are tires, balance beams, and climbing walls, like you'd expect from your granddaddy's obstacle course, but everything has a slight twist to make it more badass. The camaraderie of the army is already on display for the eager young recruits attempting the course, as current Red Berets are on hand to swing tires at their potential companions in attempt to knock them off balance beams. The current Berets are also in charge of spraying gas into holes and tunnels. The new recruits are forced to navigate with masks on, as well as the essential duty of liberally firing machine guns all over the training grounds, just in case any newbies get the idea to try to relax for longer than 3 seconds at any given moment. In between all this team building, potential recruits are running, climbing, crawling, and cultivating a pure, molten hatred for the soldiers they'll be serving with in the future. Number 3, the Fire Walk, Belarusian Special Forces. Belarus is known as the last dictatorship in Europe. A key ingredient to any dictatorship is a strong and feared military. The Interior Ministry of Belarus is in charge of the country's security forces, and soldiers of the ministry often go through incredible training courses that include physical tests and obstacles in adverse conditions. Servicemen from the special unit are undoubtedly tough guys. To prove exactly how tough they are, and to be accepted into the ministry's elite Red Berets, they must complete these extreme courses. The initial test includes a 10K quick march, followed by an extreme assault course, hand-to-hand fighting, storming a high-rise building, and acrobatics. Their commanders throw in extra challenges to make things even harder, such as trying to knock new recruits off the balance beam with car tires and live gunfire. Number 2, U.S. Marine Scout snipers have to bathe in a rancid pond for a month. Ghillie suits are those stringy Chewbacca costumes your character wears while hurling digital bullets and devastating insults at complete strangers in Call of Duty. Additionally, military snipers occasionally use them to blend in with their surroundings, allowing them to deal out sweet doses of freedom undetected. Now, how do you think the army procures these things? Amazon? eBay? The pelt of a mythical bird? Or do they just give the Marines a bunch of Ender outfits and tell them to jump in a big puddle of shit? Believe it or not, that last one is pretty close to a correct answer. U.S. Marine snipers have to put on their suits and dive into the pig pond, a rancid pool of rotting vegetation and stagnant water repeatedly. Sloshing around in the pig pond stirs up slime and mud, which helps deaden the ghillie suits, as well as your soul, to stop them from reflecting light. Once you're sufficiently dripping with rotten slime, step 2 is dropping to the ground and getting some dirt all over your new duds. This part is important because being seen with a new-looking ghillie suit is almost as embarrassing as forgetting to take the clearance tag off your new polo. Also, you'll be spotted by the enemy and shot, so there's that. This process goes on for almost a month, until the Marines are more swamp than soldier. Once this dirt poop fashion parade is finally over, the snipers are deemed ready for combat, ensuring only the grimiest bog monsters make it to the front lines. Number 1, Jordan has a massive city for special forces training. Games like Call of Duty and Battlefield are supposed to place their players in ultra-realistic combat simulations, when in fact, you're mostly running around an empty city artificially closed off from the rest of the world. In Jordan, they thought this was actually a pretty good idea, so they went ahead and built themselves one of those. The King Abdullah II Special Operations Training Center is the most advanced special operations training complex on the planet, leading nations from around the world to travel to Jordan to beat each other's high scores and, train for war and stuff. Kesat is constructed as if it was a real town, with over 60 urban structures such as apartments, villas, and office buildings for trainees to use to shoot at each other. There's even an entire simulated airport, complete with mock jets, whose dummy passengers stand up, out of their seats. We have no idea what specific training simulation would require a plane full of standing mannequins, but the point is, they've got one. Just about any conceivable unit or task in the special forces can be run in Kesat, be it dog training, explosive entries, extractions from high-rise buildings, or even cutting a few laps around a driving track. Reports of chain chomps and banana traps are unconfirmed. They even have special effects. Speakers project hundreds of unique, realistic ambient sounds like shouts, animal noises, crying, and gunfire. Best of all, Kesat has 350 thermal cameras with 360-degree range to capture all the action going on in the compound, for their inevitable series of YouTube montages set to songs by Linkin Park. The place is so large it requires hundreds of operators, all of whom actually live in the compound. Consequently, there are places to eat, sleep, relax, and shop, when you're not helping soldiers detonate your fake city. We imagine this is what video games must be like for all the anonymous bystanders. That's all from our today's video. Tell us in the comments section about how much you enjoyed our video. Give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe our channel for more interesting videos.